Wuthering Waves is a new gacha game on the block, and it's time to open up the lore and explain the many tidbits in the first 2 hours of the main quest. Welcome to Explaining the Terms in Wuthering Waves. Now, the way that I'm going to be making this series is in the chronological order of the main quests. What you're about to see and hear is my understanding and compilation from the first 2 hours of the game until we get the pull system, just to show you the magnitude of the terms that we got. And in the next videos, I'll be summarizing it as we go along the story, with new terms, and etc. My goal is also to simplify these terms for newcomers for better understanding, and to keep the information I'm presenting as close as possible to what's said in the main quests. This means that these terms can be expanded on in the future videos, but for now, think of this as your travel guide. Let's start with the world and all of the terms were introduced to us about Huanglong. The nation we're currently playing in right now is known as Huanglong, a nation that has 6 cities and 1 capital. Yang Yang confirms that there are multiple nations in their world, just that we're starting off here. Huanglong comprises numerous fields, plains, highlands, and forests. Every city in Huanglong, or rather, every civilization in this world, has something known as a sentinel. Think of a sentinel as a godlike protector, and Huanglong has the most number of currently coexisting sentinels because Huanglong sentinels used to come from one single entity before branching out. These sentinels take on many forms. The one we meet is from the city of Jinzhou, a major city in Huanglong that acts as a frontier. It's actually also one of the more recently established cities despite its fortification. The head authorities in Jinzhou are known as the magistrate, or the highest official. But we also meet the sentinel. The sentinel of Jinzhou is known as Joy. And that's basically all that you need to know about the setting of where we are right now. Next, let's dive into the ultimate powers and disasters that are currently happening in the world of Wuthering Waves. The main theme of Wuthering Waves' problems is how energies are getting wacky and distorted because of certain anomalies. And because these energies change, we get creepy monsters and explosions. Overall, this is known as the Lament, which is an ongoing catastrophe that still plagues the land to this day. It's a phenomenon that's used as an umbrella term for all of the negative energies and events happening in Huanglong, and it's what caused these anomalies to happen. Now, the tangible force or power that came from the Lament event is known as the wave-worn phenomenon. While the lore says that these two terms are interchangeable, it's best to think of the Lament as a happening that caused the wave-worn phenomenon, which is something you can see or feel. The wave-worn phenomenon collectively means the effects of the Lament's power, such as how much matter and energy in this world was ultimately changed or converted. The wave-worn phenomenon caused energies to collide or reform, which inherently caused something known as reverberations. In this world, energy is converted into frequency, and if those frequencies linger for too long and decay, they become reverberations. The negative of this is basically you have a concentration of unstable energy, and it all gets really wacky. There's 2 terms describing the energy in this world, but they're not actually too far apart. First is the remnant. These are a form of pure and untainted energy, and we are told that this energy can store memories and simulations of the past. If you store it in a trans-dimensional space like a pocket dimension, you've got something known as a sonorosphere. That's a place that we were in during the body test under Bai Che. The things that we fought in there weren't exactly real, they're basically just remnants of previous monsters. Now, these reverberations can cause tacet fields and tacet discords. Tacet fields are locations where the reverberations are the strongest or they gather, and this attracts tacet discords. Tacet discords are the monsters that we're fighting, and the one we fought in the cutscene is known as the Crownless. That's just a name for one of the many of tacet discords. Tacet discords have 2 kinds of classifications. First, the one in the story classifies them according to their power levels. So we have Common, Elite, Overlord, Calamity, and the special boss level ones, Trinodians. The second classification is according to their ability of mimicry, because tacet discords can mimic a prey's ability, shape, and behavior influenced by the type of frequencies or energies that they eat. And while it wasn't in the first act, I just thought it would be cool to include since I found this in the wiki. They're called Whisperings, Howlers, Tranquilities, Clamorings, and Staticoids. Each tacet discord has something known as a tacet core inside of them, and probably if you destroy it, you destroy the entire tacet discord. And also, tacet discords eat other things with frequencies so they can remain stable and evolve. Now we move on to the people themselves. The people we see in the game with the powers are known as Resonators. They're people that can control energy for their own benefit. Their personalized skills, abilities, and resistances are collectively known as Forte. So each Resonator has a Forte of their own and it manifests in different ways. Basically, a Forte is a manifestation of that Resonator's unique powers. However, if you keep using your power, you can lose control of your Forte and you'll enter a state known as overclocking. But the effects of this aren't known at the moment. Resonators, according to Yang, are characterized by a Tacet mark in their gourd. This little gourd here that we see in the menu screens is known as the Pangu Terminal, which can be used to send messages, enhance your abilities, or just store information. However, anomalies in signals or weather patterns can affect how well your gourd works. That's why in the beginning, we're told of something known as an etheric sea. The etheric sea is an abnormal weather phenomenon that's not completely explained yet, but we all know that it's what's messing up with people's gourds. And that's all you need to know about the first couple of terms introduced in the first part of Wuthering Waves. See you next time for a glossary on Act 2 to 4.